Hey guys, so I wanted to show you real quick. I've got a Johnson OMC Ocean Runner. It's a 175. It's 1997, and I'm just trying to do a gear oil change on this. Pretty straightforward, right? If it was a lake motor, it would be a really straightforward thing. It's not. This thing's been it's lived all its life on the sea, in the ocean, salt water, obviously, and it's taken its toll, a bunch of corrosion. So, a word to the wise, obviously if you're a trained mechanic, you already know this, but anybody who's doing this as a hobby or whatever, or just trying to change a gear oil by themselves on their old motor, is you have to get to these two screws, or yeah, they're basically screws, flatheads, one being right here, and then the second one being right here. This is the drain hole at the bottom of the motor, and this is the fail hole or the vent hole at the very top. And so the normal procedure is you hook up your hose here at the bottom once you take the bolt out or the nut out or the screw out, and then with both screws being out, you just fill with the engine being in a vertical position, not the way I have it now. I just happen to be working on the screws, but with the engine being in a vertical position, you fill from the bottom until liquid starts coming out, until that gear oil, that 80W90 starts coming up from the top. And then you would cap the top screw and then very quickly remove the fill hose and put in that drain cap or drain screw back on. So that's a pretty standard thing to do, and there's a bunch of videos of it all over YouTube, so there's really no reason for me to do that again. The reason for me to explain, or the reason why I'm making this video, is because this was an ocean motor. These screws were insanely hard to get loose. Who knows if this motor's ever had its oil changed here in the gear case. So what I ended up doing, the first thing I did was ended up taking a small screwdriver, and I have here like a snap-on, very small snap-on screwdriver, flathead, and I ended up just taking some time, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, making sure I get all just the crap, corrosion, anything else that has managed to get itself stuck there over the years, over 30 years or so, off of that screw head. And I did the same thing here. Did not take me that long. Then I ended up using some liquid wrench, which you can buy at any automotive store. It's a little bit better in WD-40 in these applications, so I strongly suggest you get something similar. There's a few different types, but I like liquid wrench. And I ended up just kind of spraying it there into the cavity as best as possible with the screw still on, for quite a bit of time. I must have sprayed just a few short bursts, but I probably did it about half a dozen times. It took me about 5-6 hours of it just sitting soaked with liquid wrench. Then what I ended up doing was I ended up, instead of using a regular screwdriver and stripping these heads, I ended up taking, in this case I ended up using just an old chisel that I had, and I ended up using my grinding wheel, or cutting wheel in this case, and very perfectly making the same width as the screws themselves. So I just basically shaved it down until it fit perfectly in there with no play whatsoever. And now you can see how loose this screw is. And I didn't really put a lot of effort into this, but that spins very easily. This one does the same. And why I ended up using this chisel is because of the body on it being so flat, as opposed to a screwdriver, allowed me to use a wrench, just like a vice grip, grab the flat end of it, and just get a tremendous amount of torque on that screw head as I push down into the screw to make sure that that chisel, aka now screwdriver, was sitting perfectly in there. And this flat head of the chisel allowed me to grab it with the vice grips and just get a really good purchase on it to be able to take out these screws. So there you go. I hope that helps somebody. I wouldn't try doing this the simple way if it's an ocean motor, because once you strip those heads, you're in for a lot of trouble. So just step back, take your time with this, and you'll be good to go. Thanks for watching.